Okay, so hello everyone. This is meant to be a talk around electronic signing, built on LibreOffice technology and in online. And if you were at FOSDEM, then there was a shorter version of this in a talk, on a half talk. So this is meant to be like more, a little bit more detailed and with some demo at the end, if everything goes right and so on. So first, why are we doing this? Like there has been digital signing in LibreOffice for a while. Why we need something new? So the primary motivation is that there is something called qualified electronic signature, which is kind of similar to the digital equivalent of an actual serious handwritten signature. And that's what we want to do. Like in case our software solution is not replacing papers and handwritten signatures, then it's not good enough. So what we want is we want a way to create proper signatures in Collabora Online. Typically, you can integrate with something web-based. So online is a good fit in case you want to do this with LibreOffice technology. We want this to actually bind the signature to something pre-existing, some personal ID or national passport or something like this, which is connecting the signature to you as a human. We want to make sure that we continue this strategy, that we don't share your document with a third party. We believe sharing the hash of your document is fine. That's not really leaking any important info, but not the original document. We wanted to create this in a way that various online integrations can play nicely with this. So as a sample, we created a Nextcloud integration. If you install this Nextcloud all-in-one Docker image, which is kind of the most popular one, then you don't need to install anything else. No 5 additional services or packages or whatnot. You just need the stock configuration. Once this is working, then it's nice to be able to combine this with other features which are already there in online. For example, with Secure View, you can do this server-side PDF rendering. Then you only get watermarked ties, and you can still read the document, but people can't copy out content, and they can make a screenshot, but it will be watermarked, so that's not too useful. And you can combine this PDF signing thing with Secure View. And compared to like other simple solutions where you just upload the PDF and you get back a signed version, let's take advantage of the ability that like Collabora Online can do PDF commenting. So we can actually show you PDF. You can interactively place your signature widget in a place where it fits the document. So in case we have this functionality, then why not use it for signing? So it's a visual signing, not just something that could be even scripted. So how to use this as a user would be the first overview. The way you do this is that you can load the PDF to Draw in online. Then when you open a PDF, then you get in this command-only mode by default, and you get all the menu-based interface for that. So there is an insert menu and signature line, very similar to how the UI was in desktop LibreOffice previously. And there you can get a signature widget, again similar to, like at least how it looks is similar to desktop Draw. You get a widget, you can move that to some sensible place. You get these guidelines in case your widget is near the top or bottom or center of some surrounding object. And once the signature widget is at some useful place, and you don't want to move or resize that anymore, then you get this snack bar at the bottom, and you play the finish electronic signing button to do that. And then you get a pop-up where you need to select your country, and inside that country there are a number of providers that can somehow make a connection between the online editing session and your actual national identity. Obviously, we did not work with 200 countries in the world. There is a company called eID Easy who does this kind of aggregation work, and we are partnering with them to actually do the external electronic signing. I will have some demo at the end showing you a few options there. So as a first sample, I picked this test environment where you nominally select Estonia and some smart RD provider. This is quite friendly for development because they just, like in the real world, what they ask is your kind of personal ID, so just a number. And then you are supposed to install some kind of smartphone app where you actually acknowledge that signing as a second factor. And all this is fake in the test environment. So all you have to do is in the test environment, you can see in the URL that this is actually test. And you can just type this magic number, and in case you use this one, then it will work. And then you can develop against this. So you got this pop-up. You type in the number, and then once you type that and you notionally acknowledge that on your phone, then you get back signature blob from the signing service, and we can put that to PDF. And as a test saying, this is supposed to be your first name and last name, this test number and OK, but for this test ID, this is the value that they provide there. So it's you get this green sign similar to the like signed string in the LibreOffice window title. So this is meant to be trusted and so on. Why is this trusted in case it was a test provider? Is because in the test environment we trust the certificates of this test provider. I will show you how that works. And yeah, that's it. So for a normal user, once this is configured, then it's a matter of insert signature, providing some personal data that connects you to your actual national identity, and that's it. The signature is there. I will show you one example with the real environment. There you can't really play games with test data. So once this is connected to my actual identity, then they will put my name there, and you can see that this is a signature which is actually trusted by one of the CAs, the certificate authorities in the EU trusted list. So you get this green sign in Adobe Acrobat, for example, without like trusting anything special. So that's basically our goal. So I guess the next is how is this implemented? As mentioned, the way we do this is that we partner with eID Easy that already had some Nextcloud app in the past to do some of the functionality that was presented here. They can do visual signing, as in specifying where to put your signature, or you need to install additional services to do this hash-based signing. So it's a bit more complicated, but that was a starting point. That's why we started talking to them. And like technically, the way it works is that you start executing the PDF signing, but at the point where you would calculate this document hash anyway, instead of handing that hash to the crypto library locally, instead you abort the whole signing procedure, and you send this hash to the browser. Once the hash is known to online, then we send this hash to eID Easy. Then you get this browser pop-up, and on eID Easy servers, you do this signing. It can be inside this dialog that you were seeing previously, or it can be something redirect based. If you ever did any online payment, and this is probably familiar to you, you provide some credentials and then you get redirected to your online bank site. There you do some kind of second factor authentication or something like this, and then you get redirected back. And that's a bit of a problem. We don't want to leave the online editing session. So what we do is that we do this pop-up, and then inside the pop-up you do this redirecting, and then the pop-up gets closed. And then we can download the signed hash from eID, and we send the downloaded hash to core, and core can replay exactly the same signing procedure. But this time we don't really care what was the calculated hash. We won't create this signature blob. Instead, we will just work with what was provided by the external signing, and then we will kind of serialize that into the PDF file. That can be a bit tricky because given that you do the signing 2 times and you play with hashes, if there is a single bit which is different in the first and the second scenario, then none of this will work. So for example, you have to make sure that none of the signing code is taking the system clock twice, because if you redo it 2 times, it will be a different hash. So what we do is that we take the system clock once, and when we extract this document hash, then we not only send the hash, but also the current time to the LibreOffice Kit client. And then once we do this signing again, then you not only get the signed hash, but also the what used to be the current time, but by the time this signing was started. And then we can nicely create a bit-by-bit equivalent, and we can finish the signing with the provided signed hash. So that's basically these 5 steps: extracting the hash, sending it over, make sure it's signed on some remote site, download it back from the remote, and then serialize it back to the PDF. These are the 5 steps. Yeah, that's technically more or less how it's implemented. I would show you a few things. Perhaps the first thing is not even in online. First, I will show you how this is doable and possible to configure in an integration. I will show you Nextcloud for that. So one thing you can do is that, and this is possible to do in any other integration. So if you go to Nextcloud, then you can have your user settings, and in user settings you can create document signing a certificate. You can create a signing key, and you can paste your certificate authority chain to be configured. This kind of provides all the information that would be normally there in your LibreOffice session. And in this case, you can do local digital signing in kind of the classic digital signing, but in online. That's one thing we will look at. Here, I don't have that configured in the Nextcloud integration, but I do have a CA chain to be trusted. That's useful in case you are working in this test environment. The other thing you can do if you are an administrator in Nextcloud is that, don't worry, these are test tokens. So this is not really leaking any sensitive information. So in the administrator section, there is this office thing, and like this is branded as Nextcloud Office. Then you can configure some client ID and secret for the eID server, and then you can do this electronic signing thing. What's not part of the UI is that in case you as a developer want to work with this, then you can also configure if you go to the test or the real environment, and that has to be done in command line. It's not part of the UI because the real end user or real end administrator won't need this. So this is normally how with clicking and in some user-friendly way you can configure this in an integration. As a developer, it's much more convenient in case you can drop this integration layer and develop directly against online with this macron. So what you can do is once you have something like a test ODT, then you can create a JSON called test ODT WOPI JSON, and that can configure various properties which would be normally provided by an integration like Nextcloud. So what you can do is something like this. You can configure your signing certificate, your signing key, and your signing CA chain. And once this is, I copied this already as a test ODT OP.json. So that means in case I open this file and I run online, then it should be possible to demo how this digital signing in UDF files, or it could be XML as well. So this is just a normal ODT, but in case you have signing configured, then there is an additional signature button here, and you get the signing dialog. You can sign. You can select this is Alice, and I sign. I close this, and you get this green sign here, and you can even look at this and whatnot. So this is the ODT signing with digital certificates locally for ODT files. Then another thing we can do is still digital signing, but in PDF files. So what we can do is we copied these digital signing things, but now next to the PDF, to a test PDF file, and I want to copy some unsigned PDF as a test PDF. And then I should be able to open this PDF file here, nothing special, but I can go to File, Digital Signatures. I can again use the normal stack of LibreOffice signing things. So I can select MLS, I can sign, I can close this. I get the success sign and so on. So this is all good. Now, what's a little bit more exciting is the electronic signing part. So the first two will be in the test environment. First, we will look at this in context sign. So there, what you can do is I need to reset my test document, and also I will copy something, a configuration, which is trusting this test environment with the Estonian CA chain. But otherwise, this is against the test environment, so I have a test set of tokens here, nothing sensitive here. And once I copy this, then I should be able to again open my test file. But this time I will go to insert in signature line. And I get this thing. This is a lot of work to make sure that in a read-only PDF file, you can actually drag around widgets. But at the end, it's working. So normally you would have some placeholder here saying sign here, and then you can move that here. You finish the electronic signing. You can select your wanted country, and this is what was in the screenshot. You can provide your test personal ID, and you need to wait a bit. If you don't wait enough, it can be that serious. So it's always very slow. But in a couple of seconds, you get something. You get this green sign, so that's okay. Nextcloud Office is hiding the status bar by default, so that's why it's useful that you also get this pop-up where you can see what's happening here. And that's kind of the in-context sign-in. Now, what else I promised? Yeah, the redirect-based one. So this is a little bit more complicated. What you can do is this is almost the same configuration, except that we will trust a different test provider. So I'm again, no, this is no longer trusted because now we trust the test German environment. But in case I also reset the test document, then it's a bit easier. So now I don't have any signatures. I can test this thing, and this time I will select something in Germany, and I will use this dtrust thing just because I know they use this redirect technology, so that's more interesting. Here I have to provide some email, And then no, we no longer at our original URL. We got redirected to the provider side. I can log in there. This is the task system, so nothing serious. Nothing serious as in for each and every try in your development cycle, you still need to connect this with your phone, and they will send you a text message, and you need to type that in. And at that point, you start to appreciate how easy it was to test with this eID, like the Estonian one that I was showing previously. And so I get some one-time password, and then I can sign. And let's see, continue, and otherwise, this is done. And now they show my name, but they say that this is a task CA, so this is still not really serious. But we are getting there. And the last thing is, let's try this for real. We don't do this often because it costs you money. So this will be, I have something configured here, which I'm not showing because it contains our actual token to do this. So knowing these tokens actually allows you to spend a bit of money. It's this similar to phones, like you prepay some amount and then you can work from that. So you can do 2 bad cents, but still it's nice to not overuse that. And now you can load this test PDF for the third time, but now we will do an actual signature here. So what I will do is, and let's hope it works, I will select Hungary because I don't really have any papers other than a Hungarian one. And there is this Eurotrust that is actually working in. It works in the UK, it works in all EU countries, it works in a number of places. So that's quite a popular one. And sorry, now I have to stop sharing my screen for a minute because it asks for my personal details, but I will restore that in a moment. And what I'm doing is I'm providing them my phone number, and then I can share. And what you will say is that there should be a pop-up. Yeah? They just say that there is this transaction thing, and again you need to install some smartphone app to actually do the signing. Except that this is now a bit more complicated. You need to provide your PIN in the smartphone app, and then you get a pop-up that you have something to sign. You get the name of the document, like this is test PDF. What I see that on the phone. I need to confirm it twice that I want to sign this. Then again, they are asking for your PIN. So this is the second time. And now this should be okay. I hope that now this will finish in soon. Because I think I did my homework on the smartphone side, and it should close. And yeah, we have a pop-up here. For this configuration, I did not configure anything explicitly, and this magic feature to just trust everything which is on this politically decided EU trust list is not something we do in online. So you don't get a green sign here. But what you can do is that you can close this, and in case you open this in Acrobat, then that should work. So in case I go here, then this is something that shows you. You can see that for demo purposes, I use this local user #5 as a username in online. So this is something I can influence. This is just informative. But even if I use this, then when signing, the actual signature was produced by this external provider, and they use my name. So in case you are an evil person and you provide something misleading here, what appears here is still decided by some external party. So you get the real data here. and you get this magic thing here that this is qualified signature and it's in the EU trust list and whatnot. And I guess that's kind of the end of my demo list. So yeah, I think this is it. Is there any question or anything that I can answer?
Yeah, I didn't quite catch, and I wanted to ask about using smart cards to sign with your digital ID, because you can also use a smart card reader instead of the phone application that a lot of countries use. And if that was in the works, and if I missed that, I'm sorry.
No, that's a very good question. eIDZ is trying to work with many countries, many governments, many providers to do this kind of sign. And one way of doing that, which is not demonstrated here, is that they just work with some kind of smart card reader or whatnot, which is considered official in a given country. So in case it's possible to interact with the card reader from a browser, then eID can have some setup as well where they are not really working with with their own external provider. They just have some magic code to work with that card reader.
Yeah.
So this is kind of their problem. Of course, they can work with many countries and then they need to set their priorities. Usually partners can give them some hints on what to prioritize. I don't know if the cards in your country are something
Well,
that is recognized by them.
yeah, I think Easy ID recognizes my country, and I asked about smart cards because that's actually my use case. I
Yeah,
use
yeah.
my
So in
ID.
theory, it should be all good and it should work.
Okay.
Um,
I would have a question. It's more about marketing. So, how do we have some marketing material for this feature?
So that's kind of in progress. We intend to formally announce this as part of the Nextcloud 31 release, and I believe that will happen towards end of February. But you can see there is some blurry line there, like we already talked about this at FOSDEM, and you can read the code. So yeah.
All right, thanks.
Normally, Anna is asking around, but I don't see her unmuted in any way. So I'm not sure if there is some silent moderation happening that I don't hear, or there are any other questions.
Well, somebody can take over, maybe. So, how about me? So, Andreas, do you have any?
Please do that. Just poll everyone, please.
Yes. Anything to say, Andreas?
No, thanks.
Zhao just asked something. Mike or Attila, do you have anything to add?
No question.
Banobe, Beram, and Christophe, I'm guessing. Clough. Darshan, Gokai, or Gulsar?
No questions. Thank you.
Right. Jaume, Schlorber, I'm not sure who that is, and Joash. Rashesh, Richard, or Tomasz. Right. And Vivek finally. Right. I'm guessing everybody got sold on the feature.
Yeah, hopefully with time we can migrate to something like this instead of using DocuSign. Yeah, let's see. Then I guess that's it. Thanks a lot for coming. See you next week.
Thank you, Miklos.